Hi guys, welcome to So Jannelle. I'm your host, Jannelle So, bringing you stories of immigration and representation. Here on the show, we introduce you to amazing, inspiring, encouraging stories, and this week is no different. We're talking about representation with the young and the talented Yonas Kibreab. Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You may have met him. You did a lot of promos when you were promoting Elio, right?
Lots, yes.
Yes.
Yes! Elio! It's a lot of pressure, but pressure makes diamonds.
And Yonas is Filipino, and he is proud to be one. He's only 15?
15, yeah.
now, but you've started acting at what age?
8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
So when you're 8 years old and you're acting, was that because you wanted to, or was that because you were maybe cajoled by your parents?
It's pretty funny because my story is very unorthodox. Like, you would have never thought this is how I started.
Okay.
My mom is a preschool teacher and my dad is in business. So, not really many people in the family who do this type
entertainment,
of stuff.
yes.
So, I started playing tennis. I was playing tennis since I was like 3 years old. And I made like funny videos on Vine kind of before it went away and Instagram.
Bottle plus racket equals...
And then the USTA saw my videos, which is the US Tennis Association, and they gave me a job to go to New York at the US Open and interview different tennis players. So I was 8 at the time. I had to get an agent, and my agent told me that I should start auditioning for like commercials. I got my first audition, and I actually booked the first thing that I ever auditioned for. Then later I went on to TV and movie.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And at 8 years old, what was that experience like? When you were doing videos for fun, was it something that you just wanted to do? Did your parents get involved?
No, because I saw a lot of different videos kind of on Instagram, and I decided, I'm like, hey, let's try this. So my dad kind of helped me script some different ideas. All tennis related. And yeah, that's really just how it started.
Right. But when you do in videos or content for social media, like what you were doing, or even interviewing tennis players, that's different from actually acting.
Yeah, it was kind of like I was doing that, and then I got an agent for that. She kind of pushed me to try doing different acting roles. And at the time, I watched a lot of movies, so I'm like, wow, that would be really cool.
Okay.
But I never really had like the thought in my mind that I would
do
be
it.
here.
Yes.
But yeah, now we're here.
At what point did it sink in that now I can introduce myself as an actor?
I think when I got my first movie role, which was back in 2020. This was like prime COVID. I got my first movie role for a movie called Blood Moon that's on Hulu, and I played a werewolf.
Yes.
Very crazy. I'm like, wow, this is...
just a small movie called Blood Moon.
Yeah, it's like, I remember just telling my friends, like, dude, I'm about to be in a movie.
Right.
They were so hyped for me, and I was really excited.
And what was it like on set for you for the very first time? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, I remember, so we were filming in, like, I think it's called Peru, California. It's like really far. It's kind of like in the desert. When I got to set, it was really hot. I just remember like having my mask on. I had to get tested every morning. And it was pretty hard because, you had to kind of take off the mask, just forget everything that happened, and then just start playing a character.
Right.
But I think it came naturally to me, which was really cool. And I just remember wanting to go to set every day, super excited, and it never got boring.
You found your home.
Yeah.
Yes. But let's talk about that, because you mentioned something about it being hard. And I imagine that people see the glamour, but they don't see the hustle behind it. And I've been in this business interviewing for so many years. I've interviewed so many people already. And one common thing that I ask, especially the younger actors, is because I feel like you're having to sacrifice more. And we're going to be talking about that when we return on the show. Don't go away. Thank you for sharing your time with us here on So Jannelle. Happy Sunday if you're watching on TFC. Happy Saturday if you're watching on ANC. And happy Sunday again if you're watching on KXLA Channel 44. It's a local channel here in Southern California. And for many years and many weeks, we've been on the Monday time slot. And now we're moving to Sunday. So please tell your friends and family about our move. Sundays now on KXLA Channel 44. We are also always always on our social media platforms on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And we are always on our on-demand channel, available on demand on iWantTFC. Yonas is joining us today on the show. You may have seen him. He is really a fast-rising Filipino-American actor. Only started when he was 8. He's only 15 now, but has done tremendous high-profile projects already. Blood Moon was the first audition that you ever auditioned for?
No. So I started, it was first a commercial. And I
Okay.
think it was for like a headphone company. Like,
Right,
long
right.
time ago. I think Blood Moon was maybe like my 10th audition.
Right.
But it's crazy because I've auditioned maybe like over 200 times.
It's good
in the past
ratio.
years.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, because I know a little bit, my daughter is 9 and she auditions too, and she's booked some, not some, and all that stuff. And we've learned to just say, oh, we have an audition. We do the self-tape, and then we forget about it.
Yeah.
Well, how's your approach?
Yeah, I think, a lot of people get discouraged when, they might not book something immediately. And I think that was the same with me, but then I realized kind of how, you're going to get rejected a lot of times, you're going to get roles a lot of times. And I remember the first time, which was actually for Blood Moon, and it was a long process. I auditioned maybe 4 times.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't think that I got it because it can take a long time. So I would say don't get discouraged. And yeah, when I finally got it, I was super excited.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my approach is, when you're going into an audition, try to be as different as possible, because you have to always go in with the mindset of how can I stand out,
Mm-hmm.
and how can I be different from all of the other people that are auditioning.
Right. I was talking to Vincent Rodriguez, another Filipino-American actor, and he talked about how the nose, all the nose pile up, and then after a while it will wobble and
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
it
yeah.
crash into the yeses, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden you have all these yeses. But earlier I talked to you about sacrifices. And I've always mentioned this before on the show as well. We pay the price for the life we choose.
Mm-hmm.
And you're choosing this path of entertainment, of Hollywood, and there's a price to pay for that. What are your sacrifices and the struggles?
Yeah, you really have to love it to do it, right? Because at 15, a lot of 15-year-olds are going to high school, meeting new friends, and I think with me, I do online school, so it's not as fun as high school. I have some friends that do go to physical school, and they're telling me about it, and it seems really fun. But there is some sacrifices that you have to do, and I'm willing to do it because you get to meet different people, and you get to work on movies, which is really cool for me.
The set is your classroom. 'Cause
Really,
that's
yeah.
where you really learn about real life.
Yeah.
But at 15, Jonas, kids your age are impressionable.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get sucked into bad influence or good influence. How do you ground yourself, and how do you guide yourself through that? Or are parents always involved?
Yeah, my parents, my biggest supporters, they're my number 1 fans, as well as my older sister. And I love them so much. They're always there to kind of ground me and to make sure that I'm not getting into a bad crowd. I think without them, I wouldn't be here, because you really need the support from family to, get to this stage. And yeah, just staying grounded is a very important thing as well.
I love that you mentioned family, because when you have family supporting you and guiding you, you're good, right? I want you to talk to the viewers. There are some parents that are watching that also want their kids to achieve things that you are achieving, you are doing. How have your parents supported you, and how can they support their children?
As crazy as it seems, same with my parents. I think my mom and dad, I don't think we really ever thought that I would get to this stage. And it was more kind of a learning thing. But as crazy as it seems, you have to trust your kids as much as you can, and give them the support that they need, because, after all the no's, like Jannelle was saying, you will finally get some yeses. So just trust the process.
Right, trust the process and
Yeah.
support your kid. Listen to your kid, right?
Yeah.
How do your parents listen to you?
Um,
Because Filipino parents are
Yeah.
notorious for just being why? Because I say so. Because
Yeah.
I said so.
I think just immigrant parents in general. I have 2 immigrant parents. My dad is from Africa. My mom is from the Philippines. And I think, the common thing is maybe to become a doctor or to become like a teacher, you know, jobs that your parents know that will succeed. What's great is my parents kind of weren't pushing me to do anything that I never wanted to do. Acting was something also that I never really thought that I would do, but when I started it, now they're full support. You know, my dad he works online now. He takes me to here, to different auditions, and I think without that support, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
I love that. We're going to be talking about projects and where you can catch Yonas when we return on the show. Don't go away.
And you're the leader of?
Earth?
Hear that, everyone? It's the leader of Earth.